Hey guys, Ganesh from Covalent here. I'm one of the co-founders and the CEO. We're all gathered here today to kick off Covalent Vision 2023. And the idea here is to share some of the programs and some of the initiatives that are coming down the pipe for the Covalent community. For a quick recap, I'm going to hand it off to my colleague Indira Smith to outline the progress and milestones we've achieved thus far. All right, guys, let's kick this off.
Thanks, Ganesh. Hi, everyone. My name is Indira Smith, and I work in token relations here at Covalent. And today, I'm super excited to be here to talk to you all about the growth of our ecosystem and our data middleware. So to start things off, 4 years ago, Covalent was founded as a baby of the bear market. The very first chain that we ever indexed was Ethereum. And this really set the tone for the direction that we would take to become the #1 data indexer of the space, indexing all of the EVM chains in Web3. So to give some frame of reference, to really understand the explosion of growth that we've seen, in the past 2 years, we only indexed about 20 blockchains. In just this year, and actually just this October, we indexed 26 blockchains in just 1 month. With access to billions of rows of cryptographically secure data, we're able to understand and share the depth of our data with everyone that uses our Covalent Unified API. Since Covalent's inception, we've had 31 billion transactions, 540 million DEX trades, we've ingested 51,000 NFT collections, and had over 27 million NFT trades. This allows developers to build for a wide variety of use cases and to build any application. So in 2023, you can expect to see even richer data models for an even wider variety of use cases, all with the simple goal of constantly improving performance for our developers. And now I'll pass it on to Kia.
Thanks, Indy. Hi, my name is Kia. I'm a software engineer on the API team. I'm excited to announce that we're launching Premium API, a paid service to access improved endpoints at higher rate limits. Our premium endpoints are re-engineered to provide the best-in-class performance of the unified API we all know and love, made possible by our vast ecosystem of index blockchains. For our developers, Premium API will be a better user experience, with 10 times the rates per second compared to our free tier, and improved response times, meaning fewer timeouts and issues for their apps. For our enterprise customers, we'll be able to tailor the Premium API experience to best suit their business needs, such as higher volume requests. Our first premium endpoint will be our most popular endpoint, token balances, with 10 times faster token balance responses on the Ethereum chain. Our API is moving to a tiered pricing model that best suits the needs of our customers. For early-stage startups, we'll still have our existing free tier, followed by the self-serve tier, designed for blockchain professionals needing ultimate scalability. The self-serve tier is a frictionless experience starting at $50 a month. And finally, we have Inner Circle, a white-glove dedicated support experience for our enterprise customers. Our pricing is usage-based, with the convenience of flex credits to keep your apps running even if you run out of monthly credits. Credit costs for an endpoint will reflect how heavy the responses are, meaning credit costs can range from fixed credits for lighter responses to linear credits for heavier responses. Getting started is extremely simple. For self-serve customers, simply navigate to the billing section of the platform page. Then you'll go through a simple checkout flow to input your credit card details. Then you'll be able to upgrade your free API key to a premium key. Once you've upgraded your key, you'll be able to utilize all paid features and manage your billing and usage directly from the Premium API dashboard. In 2023, you can look forward to more improved endpoints and supported chains as part of our Premium API offerings. Coming soon is our second most popular endpoint, transactions. And now I'll pass it off to Eric.
Thank you, Kia. And with that, I'm Eric. I'm the head of ecosystem at Covalent, and we're going to talk to you about Covalent's data partner program, starting with the RPC providers. So if you don't know what an RPC provider is, let me just give you a brief overview of the crypto stack. First, you have the blockchains. So this is where all the information is kept. Then you have the RPC providers, which allows you to write to the blockchain. After that, you have apps like Covalent, which allows you to read from the blockchain. Once you have the blockchain, you can read, you can write, then you can build the application layer which lives under, which is what most of us are familiar with today. What we're really excited about is taking the RPC, taking the data, and putting it in one place. This is going to make a much better developer experience. It's going to save them time, save them effort, get to market faster. We're starting with partners like Pocket, but there's obviously a lot more room where it can grow. The value we see here is these projects now get a structured data product that they didn't currently have before. It's increased developer retention. Now developers aren't going to go elsewhere to find projects like Covalent. It'll save millions of dollars in R&D and maintenance. It allows them to expand the breadth of the blockchain, so developers could even query blockchains that Covalent supports, which the RPC provider doesn't support, which is very exciting. It expands the product offering by allowing the RPC provider to focus on their core competency and allows everyone to start generating revenue now. That's really exciting because it keeps developers from going elsewhere. It allows them to scale their core operations, and it keeps money from going off of the table. The other thing is, all of this is of exceptional value to the Covalent network because these are all some of the core contributors who inevitably run nodes at the end of the day once we start to scale up off of Ethereum into other places. So we're really excited about that. And with that said, I'm going to pass over to Niall to talk more about the network.
Thanks, Eric. Hey everyone, my name is Niall and I work at product here at Covalent. And today I'm excited to announce 2 initiatives we will be undertaking with the Covalent network moving into the new year. So, as we outlined in the white paper 3 years ago, we described a value accrual mechanism, which is the Covalent network fee switch. Now, why is this outlined in the first place? With any distributed or decentralized system, you need an incentive, but you also need an accrual mechanism on top of that. And in the case of the Covalent network, that incentive is CQT, while the fee switch is the value accrual mechanism. And on the back of the premium API going live, we will also be turning on the Covalent network fee switch. So how will this work? In the short term, as revenue comes in from the premium API, we will be transforming some of that revenue into CQT through a purchase on the open market. This will then be shared with the current network operators who are live on the network today. In the long run, however, CQT will be rewarded to network operators automatically, proportionate to the work that they complete, such as fulfilling API queries. Now, as mentioned, this is a core mechanism for the Covalent network. By making CQT productive in this sense, we are making the Covalent network far more sustainable in the long run, given the incentive to participate. Now, while the Covalent network is one of the first protocols to launch such a feature, 2023 will barely scratch the surface with this. As the demand for blockchain data increases, as we shift API demand over onto the network, and as we develop out its capabilities, the fee switch will become more and more active, making the Covalent network one of the most scalable and sustainable infra providers in all of Web3. Now, as mentioned, this is the first initiative we'll be undertaking. The second is far more ambitious. So, to provide some context, the way the current architecture with the Covalent network is set up is that for every piece of work completed by the network operators, a proof transaction is sent to an EVM smart contract. Now, as we develop out the Covalent network capabilities, more proofs will have to be sent, and as a result, network operators will have to pay more gas. And the cost is becoming too great for network operators, and will become even greater with time. So, ultimately, the current architecture is just not set up to scale, despite scaling solutions improving on the EVM side. Now, with this and how important of a mechanism the proof transactions are, we're moving away from EVM smart contracts to the Cosmos SDK, essentially making the Covalent network its own layer 1. Now, a major benefit of Cosmos is that we can tailor the chain to meet the exact needs of the Covalent network. And one application of this is that network operators will not have to pay gas for the proofs that they are currently submitting, which significantly reduces their overhead. Now, every piece of the network scales with this move, including the block specimen, which brings data standards to Web3. It scales its capacity to handle API demand, but most importantly, it scales access to cryptographically secure Web3 data. Now, these are obviously 2 massive undertakings for the Covalent network moving into the new year, but we are determined in providing a decentralized public good for the entire space to access Web3 data. And these 2 initiatives bring us that much closer to fulfilling that mission. Over to Adrian.
Thanks, Niall. Hi, my name is Adrian. I'm the CFO and COO at Covalent. The Nomad Bridge restart presents an opportunity for us to put behind us an unfortunate chapter in our recent history. The Nomad Bridge hack affected 11.3% of CQT supply. Of this, 93 million CQT was staked. The biggest victims of this hack were Covalent, as well as Woodstock and other operators and delegators who had staked their CQT on Moonbeam. The delegators to us are the most important victims of this hack. Hundreds of delegators were affected who had delegated almost 20 million CQT to our staking contract. Covalent Foundation would like to present a solution today which will make whole these most important victims, the delegators and the professional operators. This solution entails migrating our staking contract from Nomad CQT, aka Mad CQT, to Wormhole CQT, aka Whole CQT. Nomad CQT, as you are aware, is only 1/3 backed on Ethereum network, while Whole CQT will be fully backed. This solution also allows us to continue the operation of our network without having to halt it in any significant way, as well as providing an alternative off-ramp to Ethereum, which will be the Wormhole bridge. No action is required from our community to avail of this solution. Victims of the hack who have Mad CQT staked in our staking contract can still unstake their CQT and bridge it back across Nomad should they desire to do so. However, they should unstake before the migration date, which is targeted for December 15th. Please note this date of December 15th is subject to audit, so it may run late by 1 or 2 weeks. From the date of the migration, the security of the network will now be backed by Whole CQT, and unstaking and redemption will function as normal. We hope this announcement brings you a little bit of holiday cheer. Happy holidays. I'd like to hand over now to my colleague Leilani.
Thanks, Adrian. Hi, everyone. I'm Leilani. I work in product at Covalent, and I'm currently managing the Inner Circle program. The Inner Circle is a white glove concierge-style service for our highest valued customers. So not only did we go through launching a premium API tier this year, but we're also launching our version of an enterprise tier. This means we're ready to support our biggest customers, from new Web 2 entrants to the Web 3 giants that we already know. And users can confidently scale with Covalent all the way from a hackathon developer to a company with thousands of users. Additionally, we're the perfect partner for Web 2 giants that want SLAs, customer agreements, and customer success built in. Thirdly, and one of the most important reasons for doing the Inner Circle program, is that these customers provide us with really rich product feedback, which allows us to improve our data, our product, and our experience for everyone, including our free tier developers. In 2023, we're excited to make data-driven insights using the product feedback from the Inner Circle, sign big contracts, and have the Inner Circle customers testing our brand new endpoints as soon as we're ready to release them. This isn't your average enterprise tier. We're not just giving higher rate limits to these clients, but we're also providing them with access to a host of different products that we offer. For example, if an Inner Circle customer wants data that's not currently provided through our Class A endpoints, we can actually build a custom endpoint for them. We're fast becoming a leader in this space, and 2023 is going to be an exciting year ahead. Now I'll pass it off to Brandon to talk a little bit about the Data Alchemist Bootcamp.
Thanks, Leilani. I'm Brandon. I lead the research team at Covalent and have been here for almost 2 years. The research team is responsible for building Covalent's analytics stack, including Increment, which is the tool that kicked off the Data Alchemist Bootcamp. The Data Alchemist Bootcamp is a month-long advanced analytics course with over 250 of the best participants in the space. These participants are building analytics on 50 blockchains worth of rich, granular on-chain data, specifically looking at reach, retention, and revenue. There were more than 1,200 applicants for the first cohort of the Data Alchemist Bootcamp with top talent from around the industry. We selected 250 to be in the first cohort, and these data alchemists have done over 100,000 queries, built more than 1,000 charts, and analyzed over 3 petabytes of data. The objective here is to pull the industry out of a bear market by onboarding analysts with job-ready skills. In the blockchain world, data is public by default, and Covalent makes that data easily accessible. This paradigm shift has opened up an opportunity for these data alchemists to change the way that we make decisions as an industry. Data alchemists learn to report on the fundamentals of reach, retention, and revenue. These are the 3 focus points that will pull the industry back to a growth trajectory. The data alchemists are using a new tool that we've been developing alongside of them. This program has been a great way to take feedback on this tool and incorporate this feedback from the best analysts in the space to create a positive feedback loop as we build the product. What is 2023 going to look like though? We'll have 1,000 data alchemists go through the program. We're going to publicly launch Increment, which is the product they've been helping us build, and we'll launch a premium SQL-free version of Increment to increase the accessibility of the product even more. Now I'm going to pass it off to Ganesh.
Thanks, Brandon. So if it's not immediately clear, what my colleagues have shared is just a glimpse into what's coming down the pipe in 2023. We have a jam-packed year ahead of us. The initiatives include refinements to existing products, so better, faster, cheaper products, and brand new use cases that thus far hasn't been discovered. If anything, we are speeding up our innovation process, not slowing down. Let's move to Q&A. Thank you.
Hi everyone, and first and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for being here. I am joined here with Ganesh, our CEO and co-founder, and we will be running the Q&A session. So to start things off, our very first question is, I'm trying to understand the scenarios under which I, a developer, might choose Covalent versus other index/query solutions like the Graph. What are the advantages of SQL/no SQL when it comes to on-chain data? And is it possible to export the Covalent data via a Graph API? And could one port their subgraph to that Graph API?
These are some great questions, and over the past couple of years, we've expounded on how Covalent is different from the Graph. But quite simply, technically and philosophically, they're opposing solutions to the same problem, which is how do you get data from the blockchain? So Covalent offers a solution where all of the blockchain data is scraped and put into a database, a decentralized, proof-backed, cryptographically secure database that then developers and analysts and other kinds of users can use that blockchain data. While in the Graph approach, you have to sit down and write a subgraph to go get your data. So a lot has been written on this, so please, we'll have some references to the past videos. But quite simply, from an analogy, this would be spear fishing versus industrial fishing, where if you're running a Michelin star restaurant and you need a specific species of fish for your dinner plate, then you go out into the ocean and then you spear fish for that specific fish species, and then you come back. And if there's any kind of change, either in the spices or that species, or you're not able to find the species that you want, then your dinner plans just fall apart. Now, the Covalent approach is you go out into the ocean and then you do industrial style fishing, and then you come back to the shore and then you sort it all the way from food to cat food. And here you just have to go there and just get what data you want. So these are two different approaches, and it opens up a lot of different opportunities, but ultimately we're all working towards the same mission, which is getting data from blockchains.
Amazing. Okay, thank you so much. And the second question is, any plans for SDK? A Node's SDK will reduce developer friction to consuming Covalent services. So what are your thoughts on that?
This is a key important product milestone for us in the new year. What we've realized is that the REST API is great as a demo. It's great to get started. But if you want to use the API in the most effective fashion, you need to know some tricks of the trade. So I think we can further enable and further simplify the use of the API via client SDKs. So it would be so great to just have import Covalent.transactions, Ethereum mainnet, and then the wallet, and then you just get a list of transactions through something like a Python generator, for example. So I think we would take an idiomatic approach to the different programming languages so that you're not just shoehorned into the regular REST API. It is an important usability feature we're going to be working on in the new year.
Super exciting to hear about that. And now for our third question. Why are not all Web3 companies, projects, or dApps using Covalent API? What is the blocker?
So there's a couple of reasons why why not 100% of the market is using Covalent. And it comes down to a couple of bullet points. The first is that it's a question of awareness. So Covalent, being a middleware solution, doesn't really have a UI, doesn't have buttons you can click at. You can't immediately see the value of the API. It's JSON responses. It's like spreadsheets, rows and columns. So there's definitely a discoverability gap. Hopefully with the increment product, we're able to bridge that gap where you're able to see beautiful charts that tell the story behind the data. So the awareness is the number one issue. The number two issue is probably blockchains we don't support. So there are lots of non-EVM chains that we do not support. We don't support Bitcoin, we don't support Solana, and there's just lots of these coming online. So we don't support those, so developers in those pockets cannot use them. There are certain kinds of use cases where Covalent is not an exact fit. If you need precise look into the state of a contract, it's a little more involved, it's a little more complicated. And currently, the solution that Covalent has does not meet our own internal bar on how usable it is, and therefore we haven't released this to the public. So this is a research project on how to extract and how to expose the innermost workings of smart contracts. So that's part of the reason why certain set of developers cannot use this. But if there's a wallet customer, if there's an NFT gallery builder, if there's a taxation tool out there that is not using Covalent, I think that's a missed opportunity, and I think they should hurry up and use Covalent.
Absolutely. Very, very bullish on Covalent, as always. And then moving right along, so one of the questions is support for the Optimism chain. This is a bit more of a developer question, but curious to hear. I'm sure the community is curious to hear about your thoughts.
Here is your early Christmas gift. Just use Chain ID 10 and Optimism is supported.
Wow.
This is a not so well kept secret. A lot of our biggest partners like Rainbow Wallet uses Optimism. So we haven't gone through the QA process there. So that's all it is. Just use Chain ID 10.
Amazing. And that wraps up all of the questions that we have for today. But one thing that I was super curious about, considering it's Covalent Vision 2023, can you tell us a bit about your fashion style for today?
So, Indy, we have the ugly sweater party later on, and I have gotten comments on public transit that this is actually a cute sweater. It's not really ugly, so how am I going to win the competition? And I think this is a deeply philosophical T-shirt because it's a picture of a bear, and bear markets are ugly. So I think I deserve to win the competition.
Absolutely. All right, and that wraps up all of my questions as well. If you don't have any final statements.
So thank you all. The Covalent community is the reason I show up to work every day, and we continue to work. Something else that I haven't really disclosed to much of the team is that this week is year 5 of us getting our first paycheck from Covalent. So we've been working nonstop on the Covalent project for 5 years, and I think the next 5 years will be more exciting than the prior 5. So really looking forward to 2023. We have a very ambitious and very bullish future ahead of us. Oh. There's no bear market for builders.
No. All right. Thank you so much, everyone.